So here we go. This will be video note one. I'm going to basically call this Road to the Birds. This is my first ever year going to Snowbird Nationals in Florida. It's my first ever big on-road race. I've been to a few local that were pretty good size, a few from back home up north. But Snowbirds will be my first big on-road race. I've been to other big races before. I went to Cactus Classic earlier this year. Hit CRC, but hit up their Winter Champs long ago when I was a lot younger. But this was my first, being my first on-road race. It's going to be interesting. I know competition is real tight. I got to see some of the the footage that was available from Cleveland. Really, spec racing is everybody's one right on top of each other. The A mains, what was it? I saw it wasn't the stock nats, but it was a big stock race up in New York a few weeks ago, and first through 10th in the A main was separated by I want to say less than 5 seconds. And that was, that's hot lap qualifying. So from the fastest guy to the slowest guy in the A main was one wreck or a couple bobbles. You tag a few pipes, and next thing you know, you're last in the A. Or even worse, you tag an extra pipe and you're in the B or the C, and then you slowly start going down from there. So I'm really going to be interested to see how all this work's going to pay off, and if I do enough work for it to make a difference. This being the first, real day that I've gone to practice and get ready for the birds. Last weekend was the first weekend I've raced on-road since our big off-road race, and it was a freaking disaster. It was really bad. Like, I didn't even make the A. It was a local club here, Thunder RC, and I didn't even make BQ. It was so bad. Granted, I won the B main, but I had to drive my ass off. I was holding on to my seat of my pants the whole damn race, and it felt almost like my second day of on-road again for the first time this year. So if you don't know, this year is the first time I've run on-road in 10 to 15 years. Last time I ran on-road, it was the old gray carpet. It was before lipos and lipos and brushless was just starting, and I believe it was 10.5 touring car. That was stock then, or the spec class was 10.5 touring car. Now we're freaking running 17.5 touring car, and well, the birds this year, 13.5 touring car has been phased out, so it's not even an option there. Anyways, so this was the first practice day, and I got a new body. I was going to test out the Mazda Speed 6 Protoform body. I rushed to paint it tonight. Literally 45 minutes before I left to go practice, I washed the body, masked it, painted it. Oh, it's rough. It's not a great paint job. Doesn't matter though. It's a practice body. I need to figure out what I'm going to run, the different handling characteristics. So get it painted somehow, miraculously. Even get the window mask pulled off, get to the track, and get it cut out before I run my last pack through. And not even cut out all the way. Just like the base of it trimmed out. No wheel wells done, nothing. So when I say, am I going to do enough work? That's one of those situations that make me wonder whether or not I'm doing enough work for this. I really do believe I will have a very, very, very good chance if not an almost guaranteed chance to win USGT at Snowbirds. May sound cocky or whatever, but USGT is what I started with this summer. USGT is my class. I got that shit on lock. I found a great motor. The great folks over at Team Trinity, Kevin Abbott and Ernie Prevetti, hooked me up. I got an amazing motor somehow. And this was like 2 weeks after I signed with Trinity this year, which I was very lucky and blessed to get what I got from them. So I got that. Unfortunately, with one of my dischargers, I left my USGT battery pack on the charger for too long, and it's not doing too hot anymore. So I'll definitely need another battery for Snowbirds, but what I have right now to practice with, it'll get me by, it'll get me back up there. The big race that I ran here at Thunder with USGT, I easily had one of the fastest cars. The big mistake I made at Thunder is I dicked with timing and gearing on my motor too much. My car was fast. One of our local fast guys, who many of you may know, Matt Lyons, is smoking fast. And he ran USGT. He was in like an invite class, and I was able to do the same lap times, consistency that he was able to do in my race until I started dicking with timing, motor, and all that jazz. So I learned that lesson. Hopefully I don't have to repeat that. And I got everything set back, and I believe it's back to where it needs to be. One of the locals has a dyno, so I may do some dyno work with that before we go. But last time we set it with, what is it? Trinity's modalizer, and I'm probably just going to go back and do that. You know, it worked the first time. I hate doing this. It worked the first time, so I'm going to do it again. And it's not so much the fact that it worked that I did it, is it was fast. It was on point. It was exactly where I needed it to be. It wasn't any faster. All the playing with that I did, or all the moving around and modifying and adjusting I did, it wasn't great. So maybe this will take care of it. I don't know. We'll find out though. I don't even know what that was. Sorry, I was thinking about recording and if it's even recording this and if I'm wasting my breath right now. Because son of a bitch, I hate recording stuff twice. I'll say something completely different, I'll miss some points, whatever. Okay, so back on track with USGT. The car is good. I need to maintain what I have. I need to get the aluminum mod on it. If you don't know what the mod I'm talking about is, you will find out, and you'll find out in a big way. Everybody who's anybody. Anybody who's everybody? No. Everybody who's anybody is running the mod. It is the equalizer. You know, the Awesomatics came out, the new Serpent came out that totally revolutionized. Yeah, wow, I jacked that one up bad. They changed the game when it came to touring car in a very big way. Not so much that they got rid of the shocks, but they took everything and lowered it down on the chassis. And while that helped, that wasn't quite what they needed. Or not quite what they needed. That wasn't everything. That wasn't the end-all be-all. There were some other little things with both cars that they did that make a big difference that have been ported over to the X-Ray touring car. And it is the game changer for X-Ray. I'm not going to make any statements for them, but if you're running an X-Ray car and you don't have the mod or the equalizer, you're hurting, man. It's rough. It's very rough. There's a video also on that and what it does and whatnot. And go check that out. You'll like it. You'll like it. If you don't have one, you'll be getting one. Trust me. So update that on my GT car. And really, I think just make sure I have bodies, tires to practice with while I'm here. They will be doing handout tires, which is a pain in the ass. I'm not the cleanest driver when it comes down to it. I can run a very clean qualifier. I can run a very clean qualifier or a main practice when I'm practicing to go as fast as humanly possible. I don't avoid the pipes, and I smash the shit out of them, which leads to cracked rims and destroyed bodies, and which is, the problem I have with the original gravity rims for USGT. I've bent a few of them over on themselves. It's kind of interesting to see what the car does like that. It's a lot of fun to drive. It's real easy. I think that's really it for USGT. It's really just double check, keep it up to snuff. Before we go, just do a last ditch, redo the shocks, clean and oil the bearings, just make sure everything's nice and fluid in it, and there's no binding in anything, and it should be good to go. The 17.5 car, though, I'm most worried about that. I know I can make the A. I have the skill, I have the ability. I just need to not get lost into setup too much or into motor tuning like I did with USGT, things like that. So I'll definitely be doing most of my work and my practice in 17.5 touring car. That's the body. I got to the track today and I ran 3 packs through it. First pack I destroyed a rear hub. Like I've never broken a rear X-ray hub until today. Well, pull out the ball studs and it turns out the bottom millimeter of the ball studs doesn't have thread. I'm like, well, that could be why. A millimeter worth of thread extra could... I mean, that's the difference between pulling it out of the hub and stripping it or having it stay in forever. So, we fixed it. And I had some other X-ray ball studs laying around and popped them in and they're fixed. Although, unfortunately, we didn't have the same replacements. So this is the 17 X-ray, which has the hard rear hubs. I had medium 1 degrees. Not even medium 0 degrees. If I went to medium 0 degrees, I had to go with the 1 hole instead of the 2 hole. I didn't have the 2 hole, only the 1. So that would have changed the setup even more. I've run the touring car with 1 degree of timing before, which is basically what I did with the 1 degree hubs. I flipped them. I was actually at 2 degrees of toe and went down to 1 by making this change. So it wasn't the end of the world. The car handled pretty good. Yeah, I kind of liked it like that. So I want to go back to at least medium 2 hole 0 degree rear hubs. Now that I say this, having the hards on the rear could be the lack of rear traction that I've noticed with the 17.5 car now over what I previously, over the 16. So maybe I'll go with the medium. Again, this is why the video's here, so I can remember shit like this. Because I'm sure a month from now, I will forget about it. Shit, a week from now, I'll forget about it. yeah, that's that's pretty much how it's been going so far. Road to the Birds has just begun. This is literally practice day 1, post a catastrophic first race day back in on-road after all the off-road shit. I'm glad off-road will be sitting for a while. I may throw the two-wheel drive buggy back out there again sometime between now and the Birds, but it won't be that often, which is disappointing because the off-road track that we built is freaking incredible. It's a blast to drive, but I want to concentrate. I want to get there. I want to make sure I put in a good effort for my first Snowbirds. I'm not expecting to win 17.5 touring car A main. But damn, if that's not the goal, fuck, I don't know what is. I don't know. The goal is to win it. Yeah, there's incredible drivers to race against. We have some pretty fast guys down here to drive against too. So hopefully that'll be what I need. As things get closer, we get to change the layout a little bit. We'll see how it goes. But I'm pretty optimistic right now. I'm not going to change setup a ton for what we have now, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to get some practice in. More practice than setup right now. I want to get clean lines, and I want to figure out why when I just walk out on the track and do a lap, my first lap I feel like is absolute shit, but it's ballistic. Like stupid fast. I walk out there today, so fast lap on our track by one of our local guys, pulled an 11.9 or an 11.8, something like that. The average guys at our track are doing 12.6. Well, the average guys at our track are doing 12.7. I went out first lap and pull at 12.3, which is good. Not quite where I want to be, but damn, it was a cold track. Cold tires, cold diff. Everything's freaking cold on the car, and it's freaking 12.5. I barely just cleaned the sauce off the tires in a couple turns, and I said 12.5, 12.3. Like, holy shit. And then I turn right around and go 12.8 and 12.9. Or then I proceed to push it too hard and bash the shit out of it, which is not good. I don't like that. So I did notice that I was a bit more fluid with it when I first went out there. So I think I'm missing some fluidity for my driving, like I'm trying to romp on it too hard, and that just makes you overshoot the corners. You know, if you're driving a real race car, you can't just slam the gas to the floor and expect it to go. You're better off easing into it and easing out of it. That way you don't waste power with wheel spin or other things like that. So, I mean, maybe that's what's going on. Maybe I'm romping it on it too hard and the tires are breaking loose. That could definitely be it. So, as far as my driving technique, so the first lap, and then I get out of a rhythm or I push too hard and I start clipping shit. Like I don't know why, but I need to be able to go out on a fresh layout and just start ripping off laps. Like they're my first lap out that's not even timed. Ooh, speaking of that, seeing how it's not timed, I may just go out there without a transponder. Just put a 7-10 gram weight up where the transponder goes and run it that way, because I mean that's if the laps that I'm not listening to are faster than the laps when I am listening, it means that I'm concentrating too hard on that number that I'm looking to hear from the scoring system and not enough on my line. So if I pull the transponder for a couple days and just run laps, that could be the solution that I'm looking for here. Ha! Hey, this is why I do the video video blog. screw it. This is why I'm making this video. If it helps you out there, that's freaking awesome. If you found it entertaining and you got a chuckle out of it, yeah, that's good too, man. I'm glad you had a good time. And we'll see where we go from here. First time, first blog. I think this is actually some pretty good progress. So, until the next one, cheers. Cheers? No. I'll see you next time. Bye.